Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwant, and welcome to Selling Power TV. I have a wonderful book in my hands called SOAR Selling by Dave and Marhnelle Hibbard. Welcome, Dave and Marhnelle.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Yes.
Thank you. And I love it. This book is so wonderful. You know why? Because you wrote a beautiful quote on it. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's
on
right.
That. Yeah.
I was asked by McGraw-Hill to write a foreword, and it's called Why SOAR?
That's
And
exactly right.
congratulations
Thank
to
you.
writing it. What idea came to mind that sort of sparked that book in that where you said, I need to write it, I need to share it with the world?
Right.
Yes,
I'm going to let David speak to that.
What really made it happen, it was interesting, was that selling for us in the commercial real estate world, Procter & Gamble, all the places we've been, we realized that people were struggling so hard to make contact with decision makers. It wasn't the big thing wasn't what do you do when you get there, it was how do I get there? And since it was so difficult, we decided, well, why don't we take on the challenge of figuring that out? So over many years, we just got onto it and started to figure it out and work it out. And the next thing you know, we kind of started to get it, and our clients said we had it, and that's the impetus to make it happen. We wanted to solve something that was difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There are two words that struck me in the book. One is mindset, and the other one is mechanics.
Right.
So can you tell me about the mindset?
I would love to. You know, when I first started working in commercial real estate, David was my mentor. And this was a fundamental belief of his. It really began with the mindset. And his track record at training top people was, in the whole country, was the best. So when I started working with him, he absolutely had me believe, and I did. It was really about my approach, but my thinking about my approach and what I was offering to the customer, the potential client. So mindset was the foundation, if you will, for the whole training that he gave me eons ago, and that has been the forefront of what we've brought to people, probably 250,000 people across the world.
So tell me about the mechanics. What does that mean?
The mechanics it's a great question, and the mechanics are really the common elements or the fundamental elements that we run into that salespeople struggle with. And the way that was discovered, by the way, was our whole system, SOAR Selling, is about, as I said, how to get in, how to
Make contact. Right.
And so we began by going into companies and we would teach how to make contact. Well, we did live dialing and still do live dialing in the programs. They do it. And what we found out was when they made contact, they didn't know what to say. And they would say some crazy stuff. And so we thought, well, wow, we watched that. And then...
Sometimes when they actually got a CEO on the telephone, because the contact rate is so high, that in the training, a live call, the president would pick up and they would look like a deer in headlights. They would hang up.
Yeah.
So what we thought was next we needed...
Well, then we thought, well, we have to help them with value statement.
Right.
What to say when someone answers. And then we found out that they got that down, and then objections would come, but salespeople, particularly the middle to the rookie level, couldn't handle objections as they went deeper. So we got into that piece of work. And then the client would respond oftentimes with, well, send me something. And then they would think that they had a victory, but the send me something wasn't qualified. So the next circle or mechanic was qualifying, and then it led to the ultimate appointment. So it happened organically through the teaching, and it became a process now for how to reach decision makers, secure an appointment through those, secure a qualified appointment. Right. And I think it happened in the laboratory, so to speak, right?
It did. It happened in the field organically, as Dave mentioned. But what's so exciting is that we love the world of selling. We think it's such a high level, really, career. We really do. And it's our stake in the ground is to really support people in having integrity as salespeople, knowing your product, knowing your services, being a resource to people, and do it ethically. So that's why this piece was so important to us.
Yeah. Good.
So there's a third M, which is metrics.
It is,
yes. Yes.
So tell me about that.
Right. It is absolutely about really honestly tracking the success, if people utilize the process of SOAR, and then looking at the new opportunities they can create in less time with integrity, it'll help the salesperson success rate, help the bottom line of the company, but also they made a new client. So we love the metrics part.
Let me give one of the metrics, by the way, which you bring up a good point. And this is going to sound unbelievable. If someone puts $50,000 in a bank account, they get what? 2 points, a point and a half, a point and a half.
Right now, I think
that's
probably.
If they put it in a mutual fund, maybe they'll get 5 points or 6.
Lower.
If they put it into SOAR selling, $50,000, and that's just a number, it's 200 to 2,000% in 12 weeks, not a year, 12 weeks. Right. That is provable.
Right.
And it's amazing. Yeah.
See, you have an intriguing subtitle: close more sales and drive net new business, making fewer calls.
That's right.
So how do you up the quality and decrease the quantity?
That's exactly right. Because of the technique. So I'm sure that years ago, Betty Crocker is famous, right? That she put that instead of adding all the flour and the baking soda and the baking powder and everything together, she put it in a box and you add water. It was a formula that people could follow. And yet, at the end of the day, you didn't realize that someone didn't slave over for 2 hours to make this beautiful cake. We have perfected the process of making a call on an absolute call. And now this is the extreme. We call it strategic calling because you choose. I want to talk to you. I find out who you are. I do some research. We have this all in the SOAR selling process. But then I go through the SOAR process, and statistically we find that within 15 minutes, that's our average time, I can reach you or a key influencer in your organization to speak about what I'm talking or would like to talk to you about and what difference that might make for your company. It's exciting.
You change people's lives.
Yeah,
We do.
that's it.
So for anybody who would like to get more information on SOAR selling, go to soarselling.com, or if you haven't already done so, go to amazon.com and get this book. It can change your life.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thanks, Gerhard.
Thanks, Gerhard.
It's
Pleasure.
so
And what a
wonderful.
great event.
Yeah.
2.0.
Thank you.
Oh, it was wonderful.
wonderful.
It was.